Doing video analysis using Logger Pro. So we'll walk you through the basic process of how to capture some video and analyze it for motion. So you'll be using a program called Logger Pro. We'll send you links to it if you don't already have them, so you can download it at your own computer at home and keep it forever. It's a pretty good software. You're then going to go over to Logger Pro and start that up. And when you're in here, it's pretty straightforward. We go to Data. No. We go to Analyze. No. Where can we insert stuff? Oh, we insert a video capture. So you'll do that. And then this little window pops up and you'll see me, hi, and what I'm going to do really quick here is I'm going to click on Start Video Capture and then I'll be done. And when it's all done, what you'll hopefully see is something that looks pretty cool like this. You'll get a video in there and then you can close this window up. You can redo as many videos as you like. So down here we have a video that we recorded. And what we're going to do is we're going to kind of scrub through it until we get to a good starting point. So let's say I've got some buggies down here. So I'm just scrubbing. That looks like a pretty good starting place right there. Now, this button up here allows you to do different dots. If you don't see this stuff over here, click on this button that says Start Video Analysis. Okay, so now we go through, and then what I want to do is I want to set up my origin. So this button right here is going to allow me to put dots on the graph. This is the one that sets the origin. So I can set my origin anywhere I want to. And what's kind of cool is maybe I can set it over here, and then by grabbing this guy, I can grab this one and say, you know what, let's turn it around and make that way positive. Or we can make to the right positive, or you can make up or down positive, whatever works for you. We'll explore that more later on. So let's call this 0 over here. And now let's go ahead and start putting some dots in here. So I click on a dot here, and you'll see the graph starts forming over the side. And what I'm doing is I'm picking the same spot the whole time. And you'll notice I'm doing the dot on the buggy right there. The buggy, click on the buggy, and I got the buggy, and I'm doing the little eyeball or light on the buggy. Do you see a graph kind of forming over to the right? And hopefully you said yes. And you can go, wow, I see 2 lines. That's because the red one is the one that's going horizontally, and the blue one's the one that's going vertically. So it's not really moving up or down, it's just going horizontal. So that's kind of cool right there. That might be enough dots right there. If I wanted to, I could then tell it to actually measure it. So if I look over here and try to do a best fit, so I click up here, Analyze, and I do a linear fit. And let's say I just want to do the X direction, not the Y. So I go ahead and click on there, and I get a nice little line. Looks pretty good, but notice I don't have any units on there. So if you take the trouble of putting something you can measure into your video, say like a meter stick, you highlight that amount right there and say that's about 1 meter, and say okay. And now what it can do is actually can measure how many meters or centimeters per second. Right now I've got it in meters per second, but there's ways to switch it over to centimeters if that works better for you, but that's what we have right there. So now I've got this, I got my slope, I've got an intercept, I could take a look at my graph and life is good. But what if I want to add a second set of data? So let's go back a little bit and say, let's also go ahead and take a look at my first bucket, this red one up here. So click on this button here and say, I want to add another point series. It goes, okay, we can do that. So once again, I just start clicking on dots. This time I'm following the red buggy. And you'll see another graph start to appear on there. And here's my graph, and I'm getting more dots, and we're going through. And you'll see it's writing those dots exactly over the ones that we had before. And we just kind of click, and if you make a few mistakes, it's no big deal, but the more accurate you get on that same little dot you're following, the better your graphs will be. And what we could do is if I keep going and going and going and going, what do you think will happen to the 2 graphs when these buggies start to pass each other? I'll let you guys figure that one out on your own. So now if I wanted to, I can go over here, and I can have a couple options on this graph. If you click on the y-axis right here, you can click on more down here and say, I just want to look at the x direction. So let's get rid of the y direction, scroll down a little bit, and I go over here and I say, okay, I also want to get rid of that second y direction. And now I click on here, and then I could just see the 2 ones that I like to see. So I click over here. Let's do another linear fit. This time we'll do it for x2. Add that on there. And now I'll get a second slope, and we can compare these. Which buggy do you think is going faster? The one that's going at 0.46 meters per second in a positive direction, or the one that's going negative 0.42 meters per second? I'll let you guys figure that out. Oh, one last little thing. If you accidentally put a dot in the wrong place like this, oh no, I put a dot up there. That's easy to fix. Just click on this little arrow right here, go back, highlight that single dot, and then push the delete button. And then it's gone. So if you ever have any bad data points, you can click on those and delete them. All right, hope you enjoyed this. Have fun.